Hi, my name is John David Wells, and yes, this radio broadcast has my name on it, but no, it's not about me. This radio broadcast is about we, the people of the United States of America, and yes, the people of Texas as well. We do the hard work of maintaining our freedom here on Talk Radio 570 KLIF, 214-787-1570, 800-583-1570 outside the Metroplex, pound KLIF, on your AT&T wireless telephones. We are taking a big hand in changing our government here on Talk Radio 570 KLIF. To that end, you're going to be learning about a lot of people that you have never heard of before, and we're going to start that process today on the Wells Report by introducing you to Debra Medina. Now, before Ms. Medina gets upset, I know that there are a lot of people that listen to this radio broadcast that know who Debra Medina is. But what we're doing here is we're taking our part to try to bring new voices, new ideas, new minds, new people to government that has arguably failed all of us in the United States of America, the state of Texas, your county, your city, and probably your HOA. Government is completely out of control, and it's time for us to fix it. Will the voice that you're about to hear be one of the people involved in fixing this problem? Joining us on the Wells Report, Debra Medina. Debra, welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
Thank you, JD. It's good to be with you this afternoon.
So talk to me a little bit about you. I want to know about you. You are someone who is, well, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I've never heard of you. Tell me about you.
Well, I'm a registered nurse, born in Beeville, Texas, which is halfway between Corpus and San Antonio. Grew up just a good old southern Texas farm girl, milked a cow every day of my life, ate very little that came from the grocery store. Daddy worked at the phone company. Mom was a stay-at-home mother, went to public school in the marching band, went off to nursing school.
What'd you play in the marching band?
2 kids.
What'd you play in the marching band?
Saxophone.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I was a drummer.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask.
So,
okay.
You can't go through high school in Texas without playing Friday night football.
Oh, of course not. In some way. So
lots of great memories there. My husband Noe was also born and raised in Beeville, and we married in 1982 and moved to Wharton County, which is just southwest of Houston, in 1989. We've raised 2 children. Our daughter, 24-year-old daughter, lives in Portland, Oregon, and our 20-year-old son is a junior at Texas A&M University.
Well, outstanding. When did you get political? When did you decide to become a candidate for governor of the state of Texas?
I had a pastor, believe it or not, encouraged me to start participating in politics, and I did that in early 1990s. My first county convention was my rude awakening, and it was the thing that set the hook, so to speak. Or put the bit between my teeth, whatever analogy you want to draw there would fit. I went to my first county convention and watched the deacons from my church lead the fight to remove the pro-life plank from the Republican Party platform. And that was just an anathema to me. I couldn't fathom that happening, and have been very active since then, defending the pro-life position of the Republican Party, but certainly my political interests have grown much beyond that. I really believe I really believe society stands on 3 pillars: an individual and family, a community and church, and a government. And I think we've gone terribly astray in the United States and also here in Texas, as we have looked for the government to be the provider of good in our life, and that's not the job of the government. And so I find myself today in a David and 2 Goliaths battle, but fighting very hard and being very excited about the traction that our campaign is gaining, and really believe this is the answer for Texas.
Debra Medina is our guest. She is a Republican gubernatorial candidate, not Kay Bailey Hutchison, the other Republican female candidate for governor of the state of Texas. She joins us on the TexasLanding.com hotline. 214-787-1570, 800-583-1570 outside the Metroplex. Pound KLIF on your AT&T wireless telephone. If you have a question, and remember, a question only for Ms. Medina, you are certainly welcome to join us at any of those telephone numbers. Ms. Medina, I want to ask you a question that kind of strikes at my political circumstance. Not because of me, but I've got a lot of company. I want to know, how come you're still a Republican? I mean, why would you hang with that party given what we've seen in the last, well, you said early 90s, since the early 90s?
I'm one of those people that's really driven by principle and ideas, and don't, I guess, make my affiliations with personalities. I think certainly we're all pretty disappointed in the direction that most people, most elected officials who call themselves Republicans have behaved. But I'm not Christian because of the way my neighbor or my pastor behaves, and I'm not Republican because of the way my governor or my president behaves. I am Republican because Republicans stand for a set of beliefs that are most consistent with my own beliefs about the proper role of government.
But when they have the opportunity to take that proper role in government that you talk about, they don't follow those beliefs.
No,
I mean, we've seen that time and time again. How will hang on?
Tear up the Bible. The problem's get rid of the preacher. You know.
Oh, okay, I got that. But how are you going to be able to do this? I mean, obviously, it's going to take someone like a Republican governor that is a Republican as opposed to whatever the Republican Party has become. I walked away from the Republican Party mainly because they stopped being the party that actually made sense.
We're doing some really exciting things. I'm dying to talk to you about securing private property in Texas and getting rid of property tax. But to address specifically your question, we've launched a ballot initiative drive. We believe that there are some very powerful things that the party could do to help hold our elected officials accountable. Party leadership has resisted that for a long time. We've got the support around the state. We need 35,000 signatures to put those tethers on the ballot. They're up on our website, medinafortexas.com. We're about halfway to obtaining the number of signatures that we need. We're optimistic that when 800,000 Texans vote in March of 2010 and tell the Republican Party we want term limits, that we're going to get term limits. When we tell them we want to know where candidates stand on the platform, we're going to find out where they stand on the platform, because those rules are going to be created by the party at the state convention. I certainly hope that our Republican Party leadership will not ignore the will of the people voting in the primary, and I don't believe they will when we have that many people involved in that process.
We are speaking with Debra Medina. She is a gubernatorial candidate party, and I understand you have some ballot initiatives, and we're going to get to those. But I want to get back to you're running as a Republican. What does the Republican Party of Texas think of your candidacy?
My guess is they're not too keen on it. We've seen our party leadership really work hard to keep the entrenched establishment, if you will, and it hadn't been good for Texas. We've got this misnomer in Texas. We think we have a balanced budget, but we're spending everything we make, and we've tripled our debt. We've gone from $12 billion worth of debt in Texas to $31 billion in the last 8 years. We're running up against our constitutional debt limit ceiling in Texas. We've got some work that needs to be done here. It's not insurmountable, but we're going to have to play that limited government role if we expect our economy to do as well as it could. And we've got to begin to champion those conservative ideas, fiscal responsibility and allowing competition in the marketplace and in healthcare and in education in order to provide people the greatest degree of freedom. So I think that there are candidates like myself and others who are out there looking to return us to those traditional values of the Republican Party, and I'm going to fight real hard to see that happen, and I'm thrilled that there's lots of Texas patriots taking up arms with me and fighting the same battle.